Hey, what's up, guys? So, welcome. We're going to start with the next unit, and very quickly, we're going to analyze which elements we're going to check in this new unit. The name is not limits, and well, basically, we're going to check some vocabulary related to technology and medicine. We're going to check how we can connect ideas with relative pronouns. We're going to add important and extra information in a sentence with relative clauses. We have also something about describing unreal or imaginary situations about the present and the future with second conditional, and something about vocabulary. We have describing injuries, some common expressions, and also connecting words in letters. Some connecting words that we can use for connecting uh, different ideas. Okay, guys. So the first um, lesson, which is lesson A, is about connecting ideas and adding extra and important information in a sentence. First of all, guys, we're going to look at some examples. I'm going to read some details about biotechnology because the unit is something about technology and biology. So we're going to check some examples and then we're going to analyze these special words. Okay, so number one, guys, I'm going to talk today about an important topic, and well, it's a little bit interesting, which is the powered exoskeleton. Okay, if you pay attention here, guys, here we can see different kinds of exoskeletons, and well, basically here the principal objective is to try to identify something about this. Okay, so I'm going to read the first paragraph. Okay, we have in nature, different animals possess a unique design and structure. Therefore, in the search for the development of new technologies, biotechnologists, engineers, and scientists have inspired in these elements to create futuristic machines. Human beings and many animals have a skeleton. However, some have exoskeletons and others have endoskeletons. The main difference is that an exoskeleton is a rigid external covering that supports and protects the external body. For example, this is an exoskeleton, this is an exoskeleton, and this is an exoskeleton. For example, the shell of a crab or the covering of a praying mantis. On the other hand, an endoskeleton is an internal skeleton which supports the internal structure of the body. In this case, for instance, the human skeleton or the skeleton of a dog. Recently, biotechnology companies have used this knowledge to help people who have common uh, problems in life. An example of this is the powered exoskeleton. Okay, now we're going to check some information about the powered exoskeleton. This machine, which is also known as a power armor, power suit, exoframe, hard suit, or exosuit, is a wearable mobile machine that is powered by a system of electric motors, pneumatics, levers, hydraulics, or a combination of technologies. It's designed with looks like a design taken from a science fiction movie and supervised back support. The exoskeleton supports the shoulder, waist, and the thigh and assists movement for lifting and holding heavy items while lowering back stress. These machines have been developed in different countries around the world in places where the security or safety of workers is important. Just imagine people who have had accidents and whose backs are injured can use these machines to move and walk easily. That is the reason why many companies are looking for solutions that can make lives easier. I think one day this invention will be very popular and used every day. So in this lesson, guys, the principal objective is to try to find how can we um, add extra in and informal information in some sentences, or in this case in one sentence. Okay, number one, what you need to remember, guys, is that when you want to connect more than one idea, we can use relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are similar to connectors. In a moment, we're going to see some examples. And also, we can use relative clauses. Relative clauses are long sentences with two or more ideas. Sometimes we have important or extra information. The extra information usually is in the middle and is between commas, and we have all this in one sentence. For example, the relative pronouns that you are familiar with are the following. For example, we have who, which is for people, which for things, objects, or animals, that for people, things, or objects, also for animals. Where is only for places, when is for time. Whose is to show possession of people, things, and animals. In Spanish, means cuyo, cuya, cuyos, cuyas. Then we have why. The special combination is that's why or that's the reason why. In Spanish means es por eso que. And whom. Whom in Spanish means a quién, a quiénes. Who, quién, quiénes. Which, el cual, los cuales, la cual, los cuales. That, que. Okay, so we're going to check, guys, some examples, and what you need to do is to try to see how we can connect two ideas with a relative pronoun. So in this case, I'm going to show you some relative clauses. Remember what is the correct expression that we need to use. Okay, number one, it says an exoskeleton is a rigid external covering, supports and protects the external body. For example, in this case, we have these options. We have who, which, that, where, when, whose, why, and whom. So in this case, guys, what do you think is the correct, in this case, relative clause or connecting word? Okay, the correct answer. There are two possible answers. In this case, external covering is an object, is a thing. So in this case, we can use that, or also we can use which. Okay, no problems. Okay, the second, it says an endoskeleton is an internal skeleton, supports the internal structure of the body. Okay, one more time, internal skeleton in this case is an object, is a thing. So we have two possibilities. You can use which or that. Both are correct. Okay, let's see the next one. In this case, we have people can use these machines to move and walk easily. Okay, in the middle, I'm going to insert extra information. In this case, the extra information is have had accidents and backs are injured. Okay, in this case, I'm going to connect using two different words. Okay, number one, people. Okay, in this case, I'm talking about people. So the connector is, in this case, who have had accidents and whose backs are injured. In this case, in Spanish, is las personas quienes han tenido accidentes y cuyas espaldas están dañadas pueden usar estas máquinas para moverse y caminar fácilmente. So in this case, we have two connectors. And remember, in the middle, we have something extra. Okay, the next one. For example, here it says that is the reason many companies are looking for solutions. Okay, in this case, if you remember, I'm talking about the reason, so the only possibility is why. That is the reason why. Okay, and another example, it says solutions can make lives easier. So in this case, there are two possibilities. You can use solutions which or solutions that. So in this case, if you pay attention, we have two ideas. In the first part, we have one idea, and in the second, we have other ideas. And we have a connecting word. So all these elements, for example, that supports, which supports, whose backs, why many, that can make lives easier. In this case, these are examples of relative clauses. The name is not important. Only remember that help us to connect two ideas. Okay, I'm going to show you other examples. In this case, we have another example. It says they are built in countries. The safety of workers is important. So in this case, what could be the correct answer? Who, which, that, where, when, whose, why, or whom? Obviously, we are talking about countries. So countries is related to places. So the correct idea is where. Okay, the next one, it says the person is my mother. In this case, I'm going to insert extra information in the middle. Check the commas. So in this case, the only possible answer, what do you think could be the correct? I'm going to give you two possibilities. Who, quién, quiénes, or the second option is whom, a quién, a quiénes. So if you pay attention, guys, in this case, it sounds better. The person whom I I admire is my mother. So in this case, is better whom. Okay, then the next one, it says the engineer is working on a new prototype. Okay, also I'm going to insert the extra information in the middle, and the extra information is this sign is very popular. Okay, so in this case, what could be the correct word that we can use to connect these ideas? We have who, which, that, where, when, whose, why, whom. Okay, in this case, the correct answer is the engineer whose. In this case, is talking about possession. Es el ingeniero cuyo diseño es muy popular está trabajando en un nuevo prototipo. So in this case, whose sounds better. Okay, another example, it says last year was the engineers started the new project. So in this case, last year is talking about a period of time. So the correct answer is when. Last year, when the engineers started the new project. Okay, and finally, the last one, it says Germany is the place the power exoskeletons are being designed. So in this case, it's very simple. I'm talking about a country, it's a place. So Germany is a place where the power exoskeletons are being designed. Okay, guys, so what you need to remember in this lesson is something very simple. Number one is how you can connect the ideas using who, which, that, where, when, whose, why, and whom. Remember the meanings. When you want to add extra information, you usually use commas. And when you use commas, it's not possible to use that. But when you are not using commas, you can use, for example, that similar to which or that similar to who. Okay, and finally, to conclude, guys, I'm going to show you some other examples of sentences with two ideas using important information. For example, number one, if we have a GPS. A GPS is a device which helps people to find places. An engineer is a person who solves problems. Also, you can use that. An iPod is an electronic device that or which people use to listen to music. A phablet is an electronic device that or which people use to have fun or communicate. A park is a place where children play. Vacation is a time of year when people travel. A lagoon is a place where people swim. So if you pay attention, my information is in the second part at the end. Okay, this is all my extra, important information. Okay, so try to analyze the elements. And if you want to add extra information, you have to use commas. Check, I have a comma, I have a comma, and the position of the extra information is in the middle. For example, a GPS, which is available in all cell phones, is a great device. For example, this information in the middle is only to give a reference, but maybe it's not the most important. Then the engineer who designed my house works in an important company. So in the middle, we have extra information. Then the iPod, which I lost, belonged to Roger. So in the middle, we have something extra. And Jalapa, where I was born, is the capital city of Veracruz. So in the middle, we have only some extra information. Okay, guys, so thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope you have understood, guys. Try to read the notes, try to study, try to practice, and well, that's it, guys. See you next time.